Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The View, and oh boy, do we have a fireworks show for you today because things just went completely off the rails with country superstar Miranda Lambert sitting right here at the table, and what started as a simple question about her new single Wrangler but somehow spiraled into the most explosive moment this show has seen since the last time Rosie was here. Joy Behar, never one to bite her tongue, kicked things off innocently enough by asking Miranda how she feels about being called the queen of revenge anthems and whether she thinks women in country music are still held to a different standard than the men. Miranda smiled that Texas smile and said, "Joy, I write what I live, and if a man can sing about lighting his ex's car on fire, I can sure as hell sing about hiding his keys in my bra." The audience loved it. Whoopi cracked up, Sonny clapped, but you could see Joy's eyebrow go up like she just smelled expired yogurt. Joy leaned forward and said, "But Miranda, don't you worry that constantly writing these man-hating songs keeps women stuck in victim mode instead of rising above it? And that, my friends, was the match that lit the dynamite." Miranda's smile vanished faster than a beer at a tailgate party, and she fired back, "Joy, with all due respect, I'm not writing songs for Park Avenue therapists. I'm writing them for women in small towns who've had their hearts dragged through the dirt by some good-timing man who thinks cheating is a personality trait." The audience went too so loud the floor shook. Joy wasn't backing down, not today, not with 3 espressos and a fresh Botox appointment on the line. She adjusted her glasses, did that little head tilt she does when she's about to drop what she thinks is a truth bomb, and said, "Miranda, I'm from Brooklyn. I've been mad at men since Nixon was president, but at some point don't we have to stop glorifying the drama and just move on? All this gunpowder and gasoline stuff feels like emotional quicksand." Miranda laughed, but it was the kind of laugh that comes right before a bar fight in Lubbock. She put her microphone down for a second, looked Joy dead in the eye and said, "Joy, maybe in New York you all solve problems by talking to a shrink and eating kale. But where I'm from we put it in a 3-minute song, drink a cold beer, and keep it pushing." My fans aren't stuck in quicksand, they're dancing on top of it in cowboy boots. The crowd erupted. Sarah Haynes tried to jump in with "Okay ladies, let's take a breath," but nobody was breathing. We were all just watching two titans lock horns. Whoopi was hiding behind her mug trying not to spit out her tea. Alyssa Farah Griffin looked like she was mentally drafting her resignation from the human race, and Sunny Hosting was nodding so hard I thought her earrings were gonna fly off and achieve orbit. 3 Then Joy went for what she clearly thought was the knockout punch. She brought up Miranda's infamous incident where she stopped a concert to call out women taking selfies and said, "See, that's what I'm talking about. Scolding your own fans for living their lives? Isn't that just another way of keeping women small?" The audience actually gasped, like full-on soap opera gasp. Miranda leaned all the way forward until she and Joy were practically nose to nose and said, "Joy, those girls paid $400 to stand there and film TikTok instead of listening to the music they claim to love. I'm not their mama, but I'm also not a jukebox with blonde hair. If you want to come to my show, you sing with me or you sit down. Those are the rules." Joy opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again, and you can literally see the moment her brain short-circuited because she realized she had just stepped on a third rail wrapped in barbed wire and dipped in Texas hot sauce. The control room was screaming in everybody's earpiece, "Commercial, commercial now." But the red light was still on and America was getting the uncut version. Whoopi finally tried to throw herself on the grenade and said, Okay, we're all passionate, we all love Miranda, let's talk about the new album." But Miranda wasn't done. She turned to the audience and said, "Y'all, I love Joy, I really do, but sometimes these coastal ladies think they can tell the rest of us how to feel our feelings. My songs aren't political, they're Tuesday night." The applause was deafening, people were standing up, a woman in the front row yelled, "Preach, mama." And suddenly Joy's face went from red to purple to nuclear. She slammed her cards down on the table so hard her coffee jumped and said, "You know what? I'm done. I'm not doing this. If we can't have a conversation without it turning into some red state manifesto, then I'm out." She literally unclipped her mic, stood up, and started walking off the set while the audience sat there with their mouths open like baby birds waiting for worms that were never coming. Miranda looked stunned. Sunny reached for Joy's arm, but Joy just kept walking, heels clicking like gunfire across the hardwood. Back from commercial, and let me tell you, the energy was thicker than Whataburger gravy. Joy was back in her seat, lips pursed so tight they could have cut diamonds, and Whoopi was doing the thing where she talks really slow like she's defusing a bomb. Welcome back to The View. We're all family here. Sometimes family yells, sometimes family walks off, but we always come back to the table. Miranda looked like she was trying to decide whether to apologize or double down, and she chose the most Miranda Lambert option possible. She pulled a tiny bottle of tequila out of her boot, yes, her actual boot, twisted the cap off with her teeth, took a swig, and said, "Joy, I'm sorry if I came in too hot, but I'm not sorry for who I am or where I'm from. Can we hug it out, or do I need to write a song about this too?" The audience lost their minds. Joy actually cracked a smile for the first time in 10 minutes, stood up, and the two of them had the most awkward but genuine hug in daytime television history while Sarah whispered, "This is going straight to my therapist." By the time the show ended, Twitter was on fire, TikTok was flooded with slow-motion replays of Joy storming off, and Wrangler Butt shot to #1 on iTunes because nothing sells country music like watching a country girl make a New York liberal temporarily lose her mind on national television. Miranda left the stage to a standing ovation. Joy posted a selfie backstage with the caption, "Never a dull moment with my Texas sister," and the producers were probably popping champagne because they just got 3 weeks worth of viral moments in 15 chaotic minutes. Moral of the story: never tell a woman from Lindale how to process her feelings, never challenge Miranda Lambert before she's had her morning Dr. Pepper, and never, ever underestimate Joy Behar's ability to both start and survive a war. This is The View, y'all, where the points don't matter but the ratings sure do. See you tomorrow, unless Joy quits again.